the generation that's coming up, they're not going to be saying that. The generation that's coming up, everybody's going to look like an Uncle Tom to them. And you and I have to learn that in time so that we don't pose that image when our people, when our young generation come up and begin to look at us.
Now, that is something that's very prevalent going on right now. This younger generation look at everybody as an Uncle Tom. I mean, you got in the black media, the Bacardi sellouts.
It's just so much pain. You get so tired. We have black children.
Negro, please.
I have a 15-year-old daughter. I mean, what do I tell her?
Stop it. Get some help.
I'm raising a son. I have no idea what to tell him.
Are you serious?
I have no idea what to tell him. It's hard being black in this country when your life is not valued.
Are you telling me that you are not white? Oh, the deception, the betrayal, man! You deceived me.
You got the Simone Sanders. Sometimes I gotta make sure Nina Turner don't lean too much to that mess too, even though she's pretty much on the activism side, and it's a lot of them out there. A lot of them. I got to watch that I don't become one. Because I want to make sure that my people get what they deserve more than playing party politics. Sad part is my people think the only way to get what they deserve is party politics. And it's not. But I want to show you something. And give me a moment because I'm still learning this live thing. I'm a one-man studio. I'm going to show you something that's very, very important. Then I'm going to try to get back to Brother Malcolm. Right now, this generation is calling you out. This new movement, this new protest is like the 60s on steroids. The only difference is we got a huge part of this that's not going to be leaning over to the political establishment. They're going to be applying pressure on the political establishment. You ain't getting away with this like you normally get away with this. Nah, Captain. The buck stop here. The buck stop here. Recently, during a Black Lives Matter, I don't even want to use that term because I don't even want Black Lives Matter to be considered the lead into this protest, because some things go beyond Black Lives Matter. Let me give you my point. American descendants of slaves. American descendants of slaves are as you hear, are the American descendants of slaves. Black Lives Matter is ADOS and other black people from all over the world. Now, understand this. You come to the United States, you black. It doesn't matter if you're East Indian black. It don't matter if you're West Indian black. It doesn't matter if you're from Nigeria. White supremacy is worldwide. They still don't like you. And you can cozy up to it all you want. White supremacy don't like you. White supremacy, if it could, crack your head wide open if it could, because it is motivated, inspired by hatred of a species. Why? I don't know. I just did a teaching earlier on my spiritual channel. Talked about what we need to look at when it comes concerned to wrestling, that these people are evil, sadistic minded, being led by devils. And the only way to get rid of these people is find some way to drive them out. And you can pray and all that, but some people need to be driven out from, how do I say? Some people need to be driven out of this mess through the force of the people. A country have to get to the point and say, we're not tolerating this. If we see you operating in any aspect of white supremacy, you're gone. We're not kicking you out of the country, but you're gonna be, it's a crime. You will be prosecuted. You mean white supremacy? For too long, white supremacy have been looked at as a crime, but it need to be looked at as a crime because we're all equal. You don't poop and your poop comes out golden. It comes out just like mine. You ate corn that night? Let me stop. I know that sounds gross. But if you ate corn that night, you're going to have corn in there. You ain't going to have gold. So you're no different. And we need to apply pressure on the system to change the laws to make this thing happen. And this is what one young lady did at the Black Lives Matter speech in Minnesota.
Responsibility here. I've been coming to grips.
Now, let me set this up. This guy's young, probably the youngest mayor of Minneapolis in history. And he's coming out to the Black Lives Matter speech. This is Mr. Fry's Twitter account. Feel free to go to it. Feel free to post whatever you need. Jacob Fry is the mayor of Minneapolis. He's an attorney, community organizer, former distant runner for Team USA. Well, it seemed like he can get back into that industry again, long distance running, because he did a long distance running today. So you got a young mayor right here who happens to be at the Black Lives Matter rally. And this is what he had to say at the rally.
You have to take responsibility here. I've been coming to grips with my own brokenness in this situation, my own failures, my own shortcomings, and I know there needs to be deep-seated structural reform in terms of how the...
So he's already know there need to be a deep-seated structural reform. This is the problem I got with politicians that actually hold power in office. When you have the power of the pen to do some executive orders. Now, I don't know about the power of a mayoral pen, but here we got Governor Cuomo trying to act like he's a Paul, trying to act like his own police department at one time. Most of them don't do stuff like that. They don't brutalize people until a white guy get knocked on the floor, almost bust his head wide open. Thank God he fell on his ear started to bleed. Then he got the nerve to go on to the press and say, now here we can make some serious changes. Oh, you can make some serious changes. Now the white guy gets knocked on his butt and his ears start bleeding. But when the black guy get brutalized, you don't see any reasons for some structural change. This mayor is hollering the same thing, talking the same junk, same trash. Getting his Ric Flair on. When you, Governor Cuomo, have the power of pen, and you can write an executive order that if any police officer have somebody that dies unjustly in his hand, under his hands, will immediately be fired and placed in jail, and he will be prosecuted under harsh criminal statutories that can lead to life in prison, or, depending on what state you're in, the death penalty. Now, I'm not for the death penalty, but you got to put that fear out there, just like you do for anybody else. One of the reasons why you don't got people going around killing people, because we know that, first of all, I don't need that conscience on my head. Number two, I don't want to be in jail for life, and I definitely don't want the death penalty. If you got that same power over our head, you need to put the same power over your officer's head. But let's listen to him talking about what he realized we need.
Department operates. The systemically racist system needs to be revamped. Okay. The police union needs to be put in its place. We need to make sure that everything from the union contract to the way that the arbitration functions to the way that our officers and the culture in the department behaves.
Jacob Fry, we have a yes or no question for you. Hey! Jacob Fry, we have a yes or no question for you. Yes or no, will you commit to defunding Minneapolis Police Department? What did I say? We don't want no more police. Is that clear? We don't want people with guns toting around in our community, shooting us down. You have an answer? It is a yes or a no. It is a yes or a no.
Now, before I go any further with this video, I believe that we should have protection in the street. Without it, the streets will be the wild, wild west. I get it. Family members, police officer, my ex-wife, police officer. The problem with a lot of law enforcement officers is when they get a badge, they think like their job is to police. First of all, remind them who they are, law enforcement officers. You're not police. I would number one, change the name. You're not a police. Your job is not the police. You're a law enforcement officer. Your job is to enforce the law. If there's no crime, then there's no law to be enforced. And until you have put me or anybody in my community tagged with a crime, and you better have some proof, you need to step off. Now, let me say this. Black people, you need to understand your rights. Now, me personally, I have a service that helps me fight for my rights, and they educate me on my rights. I can call an attorney anytime I want, and they'll tell me my rights in a situation. And not only that, they will help me execute my rights if I need to execute my rights. Sometimes I just want to know what's my right in any situation, major or minor, from the trivial to the traumatic, as we say. And it is a business that I do for the community. And I'm not here to tout my business. I'm just saying you need to put yourself in a position where you can have instant access to an attorney, kind of like white America does. Wealthy white America have access to the justice system, and they can easily get to it. Some of them put attorneys on a retainer so they can have instant access for it. Some of them spend thousands of dollars a month to do that, but you don't have that. I'm for defunding police to a certain extent. I think we need to have officers in particular areas according to a ratio. I think that areas should be represented by officers that live in that area. In other words, if it's predominantly white, you don't need a bunch of black officers there. You need a bunch of white officers there. And it's not being prejudiced. I'm just saying you need to have mostly whites in that particular area, and some blacks. Same thing in the black community and Latino community. You need to be portioned off with the people that live in that community. Sure, you do want to have other cultures or other colors in that community, but not overwhelmingly. That's one of the problems. Number two, you need to train your law enforcement officers to understand their job is only to enforce the law, and you got to recognize who is your boss and who pays your paycheck. It's not the chief of police. It's not the mayor. It's not the governor. It's those same people, and you better give them respect. Now, as far as defunding the police officer, my part of defunding is these police officers should not have military graded equipment. This ain't Fallujah. This ain't old school Baghdad. This ain't old school Vietnam. You're not fighting Viet Congs. Why you need machine guns? That's where I believe police need to be defunding. Now, do I need to be, we don't need to hire more police officers? It depends on your situation. You might be in an area where you have more crime and don't have enough police to deal with the situation. So it depends. It's not that easy to just say, stop, no more funding police. My idea of no more funding police is the federal government sending federal funds to empower them to act like they're the military. That's what she's talking about. For as paychecks to these police officers, we do that through our tax dollars. Rightfully so. Their job is to serve and protect. You do your job and serve. Your number one freaking job is to serve and protect me. Not dominate and slap me upside the head with a club or spray me with mace. And please understand, and they need to put this in the law, no police officer or no law enforcement officer has a right to hit you and push you around. Anybody that seems like they can threaten your life, and police officers or law enforcement officers included, They should not have you still have a right to defend yourself, and justifiably. You hit me, I have a right to knock your behind, hit you back. I don't care who you are. Because that should be your right. You bust in my house unannounced and you look like some thugs from around the block and I start shooting up on you, you got to blame yourself for that. That's what happened with Breonna Taylor and her boyfriend. There need to be some real serious pounding on law enforcement. There need to be certain laws to make sure they don't break the law. And there need to be laws saying that if you do break the law, this is what's going to happen. And most importantly, because there are a lot of laws on the books concerning these police officers. You don't supposed to be choking nobody out. Everybody know that. They stopped that when they choked that guy out in Miami. But they do it anyway. For those who blatantly disobey a law like that, you go into prison. Now let me keep going. I'm sorry.
Will you defund the Minneapolis Police Department? All right, be quiet, y'all. Be quiet, because it's important that we actually hear this. It's important that we hear this, because if y'all don't know, he's up for re-election next year.
See, this is what we should be doing as a people. Calling out power. And let them see who really has the power. Remember Malcolm X said, the new generation that's coming up, they're gonna see your coonery, they're gonna see your bigotry, they're gonna see your sellout traits be displayed when pressure is put on. She's applying the pressure. She's applying the pressure. Now, she has a man say defund the police. I'm with her when it comes to defunding the police from these military grade weapons, these, chests, and, these big old rubber bullets that can halfway cave your head in. I'm with her on that. And the money that goes to police officers should be paid for the taxpayers. I'm with her on that. Now, he can't say yes or no. Bruh, simple. Yeah, I'll defund the police. I don't want my police acting like they're in a third world country fighting off Viet Congs.
If y'all don't know, he's up for re-election next year. And if he says no, guess what the fuck we gonna do next year? What'd you say?
I do not support the pro-abolition movement.
All right.
He said he don't support the pro-abolitionist movement. Nobody even asked you that. Nobody's not against cops there. Nobody against law enforcement there. They're against the over-authority of law enforcement, the abuse of power of law enforcement. That is what they're against. They know we all know police officers, or like I like to say law enforcement officers, have a place. They have a purpose. They've been operating too much in the wrong purpose. Your purpose is to serve and protect us in our neighborhood. If you don't see me harming anybody in my neighborhood, step off. You need to be serving and protecting me. That is your only job. If you see somebody about to do something to me, your job is to step in and stop them. But if you see me standing on the corner just talking with a brother on the street and all of a sudden you looking for somebody, because don't come with this outfit or description and you throwing me on the ground, putting my face up on the wall, throwing me on the ground, putting your knee in my neck, searching me, and then get back in your car like I'm not going to file a complaint against you. What's your badge number? What's your name?
Get the fuck out of here.
Now you hear what they're saying? See, this is beautiful to me because it's letting you know that you as a mayor take this message back to your law enforcement officer that you don't dominate us. We dominate you. Why? Because we are paying your paycheck. We are your boss. Now he He got to walk that long walk of shame. That long walk of shame. Remember I said last time, watch who kneels with you, because the person who kneel with you is the same person that will hurt you. Case in point, that same cop that knocked down that white guy in Buffalo and almost bust his head wide open was kneeling with protesters also earlier that week. Watch who kneel with you. And I'm going to get on this dancing in the street stuff in a minute. You guys lost your mind out there up there dancing with these police officers and National Guards, and you know your needs are not met. What is wrong with y'all? Now he got to walk that long walk of shame that I've seen, you know, that you can actually do if you know the law. You can have police officers walking that walk of shame. I never want to see police officers walk the walk of shame. Just do your job. Just serve and protect. That's all we ask you to do. That's what I'm paying you for. I'm not paying you for nothing more than that. I've been on this video too long. Let me let it go.
Go home, Jacob, go home! Go home, Jacob, go home! Go home, Jacob, go home! Go home, Jacob!
You see that path? That's a long walk back to the mayor's office. A long walk. Now, this mayor have to understand when he get to his office that everybody in this audience or in this protest are not nice protesters. Everybody's not peaceful. I mean, some idiot could have thrown a bottle upside his head for saying something like that. Somebody could have came and punched him in the jaw for saying something like that. He don't have Secret Service. So the protesters are being very peaceful here. And it's beautiful. I love this. I love this. I love a true peaceful protest.
Go home! Go home, Jacob, go home! Go home, Jacob, go home! Go home, Jacob, go home!
Now, let me stop here for a second. This is the beauty of this new movement. Sure, in the civil rights movement, we had people of different races and culture that backed us up, but civil rights movement got infiltrated by political power. It became about politics. First, you get us in office, we'll do this for you. No, this particular movement need to be, you do this for me and you can stay in office. See, they told this guy right now, if you don't do this for me, we getting you out of office. And guess what? We all heard you. And we're not just all black. We're all colors. See, this brother looked like he want to hit him. But he's not. Now, I don't condone violence, but I would understand. You sitting up here saying that you're going to continue to militarize the police department to abuse me. To dominate me, as Trump would say. That's not your job. Your job is to serve and protect. So you're going to give them power to continue to overstep their boundaries when it comes to young black men like me. These people are out here in the middle of a COVID, risking their lives for the cause of dealing with police brutality. No, this ain't about a black on black or white on white. People come in my face with that stuff, man. Y'all, I have to bite my tongue to not cuss you out. Don't make this situation, this particular situation about black on black crime, white on white crime. We know black people kill black people. We know white people kill white people. We know white people kill more white people than black people kill black people. But you don't talk about that. But this ain't got nothing to do with color on color crime. This is police, law enforcement officers, whose job is to serve and protect. And their job is more like not serve and break a neck. Or put a foot on your neck or a knee on your neck. Long walk back to your office. It's like the scene from Game of Thrones. Now somebody want to throw something. Now I don't promote that. Okay, that walk right there, enough is shame. And then he got to see these people every day as he do his job in the city. You actually think that this generation is going to put up with this mess? All they need to do is stay on code, understand their purpose. Now, this young lady up here actually stated one of the things that should be in a platform for change. And that one of those things is defunding the police. But sister girl, this is bigger than defunding the police. We need to have some serious laws that will make them pay for the crime that they commit. We need to label certain things crime. See, Joe Biden, when he came up with the crime bill, he came up with some things that said, we added 51 more things that can send you to the death penalty. That was Joe Biden. 51 more things to send you. And he said, we'll hang you for everything other than jaywalking.
Let me tell you what is in the bill, and I'll let you all decide whether or not this is weak. Let me get down here a compendium of the things that are in the bill. One, the death penalty. It provides 53 death penalty offenses. Weak as can be, you know? We do everything but hang people for jaywalking in this bill. That's weak stuff.
That's why political power is not the way to do it, because the very people who you think is going to come to your aid are the very people who pass laws to allow this BS to happen. Joe Biden. I know Trump is bad, but don't you dare think Joe Biden is on your side.